Bienvenue, madame, messieurs, et tout petit, les petits nerds! We are Digital Waypoint, and that was French! That was French! I did that. I took French for 3 years. I don't know
Did you really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I took French for 3 words. 3 years. I don't remember a single, I could not have told you what that said. I could have told you madam and monsieur and nerds, because it's literally pronounced nerds apparently in French, or at least that's what Google Translate says. Welcome back. Today is July 16th. I'm sitting across this table. I'm sitting at this table. I was saying before we started, my laptop feels like it's about to burn a hole through the crust. Mason, I don't know if yours is the same. It's probably just hot because of how cute you are. You're looking at it, and it's just making us
hot and bothered.
PC, yeah, exactly. Well, not a PC, Mac.
Excuse me. It's still a personal computer. It's just not Windows.
That's true. Mason, how are you?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
As every week. Getting better and better. We may get a fantastic one week, depending on how we go. 100th episode special.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
How are you doing?
I'm a little nervous to keep drinking this zero sugar Canada Dry, because right before we were about to record, in case you guys were wondering at home or in the car or wherever you are, I let loose a level of fury that this world has not seen since God flooded the earth for 40 days. It was rough. So I'm going to keep drinking, and if in the middle of it I just dip, that's because I'm about to ruin Mason's hardwood flooring. So,
yeah, I would rather you not do that.
We'll see how that goes. All right.
All right.
If you like that intro music, because let's be honest, we know that you did. You're going to love my boy A Cloudy Sky. You're going to love him because he made it. So if you like that song, of course you're going to love him. You can look him up anywhere that you listen to music, Spotify, Apple Music, anything else, because you're, you can hit him up there. Yeah. Today, we're going to be talking about the good old PS5, good old PlayStation 5, good old 9th gen, right? 9th gen.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's right.
And boy, howdy, has this been... It's kind of crazy to think that it's been 9 months.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like PS5 has been out for so long, and for so long, people still can't get the damn console.
I can't believe that.
It's insane.
I cannot believe that.
It's insane. So we'll talk about that a little bit here in a minute. Yeah. But, yeah, the fact that it was released November 12th is pretty mind-boggling. It's only been 9 months.
I think maybe the reason that it feels so long is everybody, us, including us, and everybody in my family, like everybody that we knew, was trying to get it since, like, when did they announce it? August? That you could start pre-ordering? I think it was August. So I think that we've been trying to get it for close to a year now. Like we both have ours, but it was almost a year ago that we started the frenzy of opening Best Buy, hitting checkout.
Oh, no, I was late. I didn't start till December or January.
Okay. I started in
Yeah,
August.
you were going hard for a long time.
It took me August to January.
Yeah, that's freaking nuts.
Yeah.
That's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's why it feels so long for me. But yeah, I guess if for you it really has just been 9 months or a little less.
But the fact that, I mean, like, for the amount of time that I was really from like a week or two before Christmas, so like middle of December to when I got mine middle to late January, like, it sucked. Like, the constant, like, oh, they're dropping, and you were having to just blitzkrieg 15 tabs open, hitting refresh on all of them because of freaking scalpers.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a wild where, like, you know, people who don't have it can't get it.
Yeah.
The people who do have it are pissed because there's not a ton of new stuff to play.
Yeah.
For me, having an Xbox for the last 2 generations, I never had that problem because I never played half of the games that were on there, and so I was like, well, I don't know why everybody's complaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just been nuts.
Yeah, and I think like I don't know. I was talking to somebody earlier, and we're gonna kind of talk about a little bit about the Steam Deck, just because we didn't have that planned. It was dropped today. We wanted to throw it in there and throw some opinions. Yeah, but I was talking to a guy today, and he was like, or I said, "Am I really gonna have to buy 2 consoles within 12 months? Like, I don't think I'm gonna get the Steam Deck right away, but it's interesting." But he was saying, "Yeah, get ready for the PS5 frenzy because Steam crashed. Like, you can't log in because people are trying to pre-order the Steam Deck right now."
Really?
And yeah, just like Best Buy, Walmart, Costco, everywhere crashing for the PS5.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess.
And I said, I don't think I can do that again. Like having all the alerts on, checking Twitter all the time, having hot stock, like having heart palpitations every time I got a notification. It's in stock. I'm like, and I don't think I can do it again. But yeah, it was a crazy time. And I think also the pandemic and not being able to get it in person and nowhere carrying it physically, like where you could walk in and buy it, had a lot to do with it. Yeah, had a lot to do with the traffic on the sites and things like that. So anyway,
there was that one day. Remember the first time that I like tried to go onto a website and try to buy it. It was Best Buy. Yeah, and there were like 5 of us. They were like, "All right, we're dropping at 2:30." Yep. Or no, it was something like it was like 9 a.m.
Yeah, they would drop at like 9. 11, 3. Yeah.
But it wasn't dropping.
Yeah.
Like it was 9 and nothing was happening. And I was on Twitter, and I'm not on Twitter. Yeah. I was on Twitter, like just scoping, and everybody was like, what is going on? And then nothing happened for 3 hours. And then out of nowhere, it was like 12:02. They were like,
yeah.
Here we go. And like everybody went nuts. So I remember it was like a day or 2 later, Walmart had them. Yeah. And I got it in my cart. I had everything loaded up, and I hit. It was like in my cart, ready to go. I hit complete order, or whatever. And like, sorry, it just went out, and I about threw my laptop through my window. I was so pissed.
There was a time where we had like 5 or 6 people just trying to get one for you, like lined up.
Yeah, it was freaking nuts, and we couldn't do it.
Yeah,
and then my freaking scalper friend, our scalper friend. Which love the guy. Somehow, I mean, you remember the one time this guy, where he works, he's able to get his hands on a lot of stuff relatively early before like a lot of people are able to get their hands on it. He at one point, this freaking mad lad, had 11 PlayStation 5s ordered, and then like 6 or 7 Series X's, and then like 2 or 3 S's, and it went through, and then it got like almost his entire order got canceled. He got like, I think he got like 1 PS5 and get a single Xbox.
Yeah, they canceled his whole order.
It was so
like, we know what you're doing.
It was so funny, but like, I mean, he's the reason I got one, so I can't be mad at him. Yeah, but I can, from atop my perch while holding my basically stolen PlayStation 5 in hand, I could spit on him. Because the fact that scalpers are as nutso as they are, like continuing to screw people that are just trying to get one. You know, it's been almost a year, and people are still not able to get it. Just mind-boggling.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that he got so many just doing things organically, because I don't think he paid for bots or anything like that. Like, he did everything himself. So there's almost...
Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. That's true. If he did, I still have the same opinion about scalpers, but there's almost a level of respect of like, you know what? You're top of your scum. Yeah. You're at least the cream of the crop of scum. You at least put in some work to get your profit in.
There was one time, it was at Walmart, and I was at work. Yeah. And I was like, I had like 2 minutes, and I almost dropped his name. He was like,
it's okay. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. He was like, yo, Walmart's got him. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Yeah. And I got so close again. He was like, he said something to the effect of like, he didn't try because he'd already gotten like 2 or 3 that week. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So luckily he sold me one, and I gave him like $100 extra. Yeah. Because they're hard to get. And so it's like, and the fact that he could, you know, Whether or not he's a scumbag for doing it, he could have sold it for like $400 extra, and he sold it to me for $100 extra. So I was like, I didn't have a problem with that. But
you know what was you know what's funny?
what?
The whole time that he was buying them, me and him were texting back and forth, and I was like, Noah's trying to get these right.
That's it.
And
I
he
had
was
another
like-
guy tell me that. He was
like, I know. And I was like, you have 11, right? And he was like, I know. He said, look, man, some of us just got to hustle. And I was like, look, I respect that.
Funny.
I didn't say you had to give it to him. I just said, just so you know, he's trying to get one, and he's killing himself over it, and you have 12. I was like, I just want you to be aware of this fact. I said, I'm not telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. I just want you to be aware. And he was like, yeah, well, I've got like 9 Xboxes too. I was like, yeah, okay. But he's a big reseller. He sells shoes. And
Yeah. That's like what he does. So
His side hustle,
you can't really.
No, that's what he
mad
does.
at him.
Yeah.
I was told that right after I got it, and I remember thinking, at the time I was like, I don't care, I'm getting one.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have one, and I found out that he had gotten so many, because I didn't know he had gotten so many before that. Because I know where he lives, I would absolutely gone in there and like just hit him with a Switch or just something, like not like a console, but like a you about to get the Switch.
Go outside, prune it off like the old days.
Yeah. So, but yeah, all that to say, the level of like I've never seen such a high level of demand and a horrible level of distribution than Sony and the PlayStation 5. I mean, granted, the Switch was pretty bad for a while, but at least or at least was bad specifically in America. At least that you could say they're a whole world away, or a whole half a world away. They're not.
Well, so Sony though.
Yeah, but like Sony is much more of a. They have more developmental stuff in the US. They have a bigger presence
they do.
than just Nintendo.
Right.
Nintendo is like, all right, they're in Japan. Like,
yeah,
it makes sense. They've never been known for their anything other than family friendly and expensive games.
Yeah.
But with Sony, it was like they knew going in. The Nintendo didn't know with the Switch because the Wii U was so horrible.
Yeah.
They didn't know going into the PS5 was just going to be like, they didn't know the Switch was going to be as big as it was.
Yeah.
Sony absolutely knew because PS4 blew out Xbox One and the Series X and whatever bullcrap, blew them out.
Yeah.
They knew for a fact PlayStation was going to have as much hype as it did.
Yeah.
And the fact that their business model has been, let's not make enough forever.
I guess they do have the pandemic, but I don't know. And like, how long before that were they making consoles?
Yeah, and I mean, even Microsoft too, which is an American-based company. Yeah. They've said it's going to be well into 2022 before we're up to task. And it's like, all right, fine. There's a pandemic, whatever. You still dropped it. You should have known. Yeah. You know, it's like, so just.
I think that there should have at least been better ways to buy the console than there was. I think that would have solved a lot of the issue.
Yeah, like the whole like queue on PlayStation's thing.
And like there was no vetting for bots for a long time, and then people tried to band-aid it, and there were horrible solutions that you could just get around with bots, and it just made people like us that were genuinely trying to get a PS5 for ourselves. It made it harder to get through the queue, and so it was a mess.
I almost spent $400. No, I think I was going to spend $450 on a disc PS5 from some guy in Australia. Yeah. I was ready to do it. And then you guys were like, what? Why are you doing it? Like, before I, like, you guys are like, don't do it. And I was like, it was something like clicked. I was like, wait a minute. I'm an idiot. I almost spent $400. I almost gave $400 some Aussie for him to send me probably
a box.
Just like a shoe box. I'm like, I don't know what I expected.
You almost bought an Xbox too. I remember you were very desperate, and you were like, "I'm just going to buy the Xbox. I just think I'm going to buy the Xbox."
I asked that same guy. The whole conversation of me getting the PS5 was I asked him. I was like, because he had said that he got he said he got at least some Xboxes. I didn't know he had any PS5s, and I was like, I told him like, hypothetically, if I were to ask you for an Xbox, how much would you be willing to charge me? And then he responded with, what if I told you, hypothetically, I got an extra PS5 for you? And I told him, realistically, I would kiss you on the lips. And so it was like, I was fully ready to get an Xbox.
Yeah.
And even if I had, I think, and this kind of goes into more of like what the PS5 has been since, at least for me personally.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have missed a ton.
Yeah.
I think I'm playing Neo right now, which is Sony exclusive. That was pretty great. Granted, God of War, new God of War, probably one of my top 3 favorite games of all time. So it's like, all right, I would have missed out on that.
You played Spider-Man, right?
I played Spider-Man. I liked it.
I know. It's not your typical style.
Yeah, it got
game.
repetitive.
Yeah.
It got boring.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Miles Morales was more fun in that the combat was better.
I think so. Yeah.
But it felt like the same game.
Yeah.
And so I think I would have missed out specifically on God of War. And I really enjoyed Neo. I've started the second game. It's kind of just the first game.
Yeah.
But it's still a good game.
Yeah.
I guess also Demon Souls. Demon Souls is a lot of fun. I haven't played Ratchet and Clank, so I haven't played a lot of the exclusives.
I think you would like Horizon too. I don't know if you
I played it. I played like 3 hours, and I think it was just one of those, like, I'm really bad at not getting through the initial phase of games. Like, there are a lot of games where I remember Skyrim. I almost put Skyrim down.
Yeah.
I played like 3 hours. I was like, man, this is rough.
Horizon is a really slow burn at the start.
Yeah.
You have to get like halfway through before it gets really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have to twist my arm too hard, make me go play it. But I played it and I was like, it's a cool concept.
Yeah.
Feels kind of boring.
Yeah.
And I remember like the mocap on the faces was always really
weird.
Actually, lots of genre, man.
The child Aloy scares me. She was weird looking.
Yeah. Oh
she
yeah,
was
that
like
was
6. She was weird looking.
I always, they would say how do you say it?
Aloy.
Aloy. For some reason, it always went into my head as Aola.
Aola.
like the sauce or whatever, aioli.
Aioli.
Yeah, that was how it always went into my head. I was like aioli.
Aioli.
Even though they were saying
that's pretty funny.
I can't even remember the name. We just said it. Aloy. I'm thinking
aioli.
Aioli. A little bit of gabagool. Like so.
That's
but yeah.
pretty funny. So I mostly play. I use my PS5. And I kind of just retired my PS4, but I mostly just play PS4 games on my PS5. Like, I got it, started playing through God of War again. I finished Ghost of Tsushima on it, replayed Spider-Man. The only PS5 game I've played, PS5 exclusive, that is not a PS4 game is Miles Morales. That's the only game. I haven't played Ratchet and Clank.
I've heard that game is it's like a 9-hour campaign, and that's kind of it.
Ratchet and Clank?
It's the whole reason I haven't bought it.
The first one was pretty short too. I think the first one in
Not
2016.
on PS2 days.
Yeah.
That jaunt.
I think and the first one was $40 like launch.
Yeah, I knew that.
In 2016. This one is 70 and I'm just going to get it used. But yeah, I haven't played that. I'm just kind of replaying a bunch of stuff that there used to be there's patches. There's the God of War patch, Final Fantasy patch. Well, it's free if you bought Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
If you got it through PlayStation Plus, not free, which sucks because that's the only way I have it. So, they still look good. They look like the PlayStation 4 Pro versions, but they're not the PS5 versions.
Yeah.
And then you've got stuff that's paid, like we talked about last week, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, and then Spider-Man, you had to pay $40 to get the whole remastered game. So I've been playing like the upgrades and the remasters, but nothing I just feel like there's nothing out. And I mean, yeah, you've got like the Godfalls, or you've got like the stuff where they're like, this is made for PS5, but
Yeah.
they don't resonate with me. I don't like any of it. Like Godfall was bad for one.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know.
Do you not like Sackboy?
So I've got that on here, as I have it in the list right there of, actually, I guess I don't.
I was about to say you don't.
I had it on there. Sackboy's Grand Adventure, Great Adventure, or whatever.
Yeah.
I like Little Big Planet, and I really wanted to get Sackboy because it's a 3D platformer, but it's a PS4 game. Like, it's a PS5 launch title, but it's also, it was also for PS4. It's a cross-gen, yeah. That's why I didn't put it on. I had it on this list, now I took it off.
Is it optimized for PS5, or is it like PS4 scaled up?
It's optimized for PS5. Like the PS4 version is like a port of PS5. It's downscaled. It looks worse.
Okay.
But there is, I don't know, like I didn't put it on here because it's not strictly. I guess it could be PS5 because it's made for PS5 but ported to PS4. Mm-hmm. But I took it out because it's not. You don't have to have the PS5 to play it, like you do Ratchet and Clank, and you do Returnal, and you do Demon Souls. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. And Demon Souls I want to get. I just haven't gotten it yet. I'm not super into Souls games, so it's not high priority. We've talked about that since like we started this podcast, but it'll be on there eventually. And Returnal looks cool, not big enough for me to get. So I just feel like the library out there, or the library there, is just, it's not there. The library it has is not there, I should say. The library there is not there. But I don't know. And then it got me thinking, though, that how long does it take for a system to get in full swing? Like, I feel like the smash hits, the 10 out of 10s, didn't come into the PS4 until like the last 2 or 3 years. Maybe 4. Like God of War, Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, Uncharted, The Last of Us 2. All of those really hit when it was past the halfway point. Because it came out in 2013. I mean, it's been a long time.
Yeah, that is pretty long. It's almost been 10 years.
Yeah. So they didn't come out. Like, Uncharted came out in 2017, I think, 2016. And then, so that was 3 years in. And that was the first big PS4 game. It was the first big first party. You have to have the PS4 to play this. So when we were talking about people are still having a hard time getting it, the people that I know that haven't gotten one yet, I'm like, you almost should just wait for the mid-cycle release of the Pro version, because all of the big games are not going to come out until then anyway.
Yeah.
And then even if 1 or 2 do come out, like Horizon comes out next year, God of War comes out next year, just go back and buy them. Like, those are 2 games you're missing out on.
Yeah.
But then all the other ones you're not going to miss on. So anyway, what about, you said you use a PS5, but you're catching up on the library of Sony games that you hadn't played before mostly.
Yeah. So I'd still say I'm Xbox till I die, but none of my friends that have Xboxes play anymore. So I'm like, granted, not a lot of people that.
I was going to say, I don't play.
Mason does not play. So I've been catching up on a lot of PS4 stuff. I played both Spider-Mans. I've also got, or at least I had for the last, 7 months, a lot, much more free time than the average Joe. So I didn't realize that they had a PS2 Classic in Dark Cloud that I freaking loved as a kid, but also gave me nightmares. So I played that for a little bit, and then I started playing.
Sorry if you can hear that dog barking, everybody.
I think it was God of War was what I started. Was my first like big game that I started. Then I played like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I tried out Ghost of
Tsushima.
Exactly, and didn't love it. Put it down, and then I started playing just a bunch of different stuff. Now, like I said, I'm playing like Neo. So I've been trying to play a lot of exclusives, because I want to see like what I missed. And even though like I have enjoyed a lot of the games that I played, like I said, I've really enjoyed Neo. I enjoyed Spider-Man. It was my favorite. Loved God of War.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed Demon Souls. People were saying that Demon Souls was like the easiest of the Souls game, and I was like, damn, I am getting my tuchus beat in.
My brother said that, and he loves the Souls games. He told me it was easy, but then I've heard people like you that say it's really hard.
It's really, if you don't understand how the game works, hard as nails.
Yeah.
Like, you have to, there are like two things that you can understand, and then the game is easy mode. To whatever extent a Souls game can be easy mode.
Right.
But if you don't know that, and I didn't know it, I went in completely fresh. I had played literally all the Souls games except for Bloodborne. And I was just getting like I said, I was getting my tuchus beat in. And then I realized, or I found out what I was missing, and then I beat the game super duper easy. It was totally easy. Whatever. But I play a lot. I play my PS5 a lot. I've already put a lot of hours onto it. And as a whole, the console has been as powerful as I wanted it to be. I think that there have been like one or two games where I'm just frustrated that it's not as powerful as I think it should be. Like I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and you have a resolution mode and a performance mode. And in a lot of these games that are scaled up from PS4, the resolution and performance run exactly the same. They're always at 60K or 60 FPS, 4K. And for some reason, Valhalla performance mode is at it's at HD, 60 FPS, and then picture mode, whatever bullcrap.
Fidelity or whatever.
4K at 30 FPS. So it makes no sense. Granted, I think that's just stupid Ubisoft, because they also they screwed up the audio so bad. Everything's so tinny.
Yeah.
And I can't play the game anymore. It pisses me off. I want to kill myself.
I feel like that's
Not
another
really.
thing of waiting halfway into the cycle for devs to figure out how to use the software, or how to use the hardware, because it shocks me that The Last of Us, the first one, looked as good as it did on PS3. And then you come to the second one at the end of the PS4's life cycle. Shocks me how good that game looks. Shocks me how good Uncharted looks. But it was Sony's first party publisher developers, and so they already knew they have the best insight on how to use PS5 stuff, or PlayStation stuff. So I feel like you almost have to wait until everybody catches up with their engines to use the hardware and to use it effectively for games to really look good and take advantage of it. Because right now we're playing games that are made for the PS4 and the Xbox One on next-gen hardware that they didn't develop it for this hardware specifically. So I think Ratchet and games like Ratchet and Clank will look really good because they're targeting that console.
They're finally, I understand the argument of waiting, but I feel like at that level, if you were to just say, not saying that you were making this argument, but if somebody were to make the argument of just wait until the Pro comes out, right? Again, not that that's what you're saying, but if somebody were to make that argument, I've heard that argument made, but to me it doesn't make any sense, because if you're going to wait till the Pro is out, why not just wait till the next PlayStation's out?
Yeah.
And so it's you're never going to be fully up to date in terms of console specs. Yeah. And so the way that I see it, if you can get a PS5, I don't think that there's there should be no reason that you shouldn't just pull the trigger. Yeah. And even if there aren't a lot of, I think the big PS5 games right now, like you said, Ratchet and Clank, Demon Souls, poop. Trying to think.
That's really
Returnal.
Yeah. That's not a huge title though. It's kind of like a niche.
I guess the new Spider-Man.
Yeah. That was a lot of people bought the PS5 for Miles Morales.
Yeah. I mean, it was good.
Yeah. But it was a DLC. It was a standalone DLC. Horizon comes out next year. God of War comes out next year.
Yeah, and those are two type of things.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really excited for for Elden Ring. That's gonna be really cool. Sorry, I was just looking that up. I saw Elden Ring, and I was like, oh. But yeah, so I really like the console. Like, I think it's fun. I think that I had a PS4 for like 6 months, maybe, and I thought the UI on the PS4 sucked. Xbox One's UI was so much better, in my opinion.
The PS4's UI was just an upgraded version of the Sony UI. Like, Sony TVs, the PlayStation 3, they all have the same exact UI with like the little Aurora Borealis behind it that, you know, moves. And the PS4 was kind of just the next evolution of that. It wasn't much different. They did not overhaul it. It was the same. PS5, I really liked the UI.
PS5, they did much better.
Yeah.
It's still just a little bit confusing at times. Sometimes it's like, whatever. But it is much better than PS4. Yeah. PS4, I was like, this is terrible. Yeah. Xbox, I still think has the better of the UIs, but that's just personal. And I have used Xboxes since I got one in like 2011. Yeah. So almost 10 years now.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, I agree with that. And I've only ever been PlayStation purely because of the first party titles. But I usually tend to like the Xbox hardware better, but I just like, you know, I'm a sucker for Uncharted. I'm a sucker for The Last of Us, sucker for God of War. Now they have Spider-Man. Like, so that's the only reason I get them is the content. But yeah, I totally agree with you. That's what I was looking at my PS5. That's what I turned it on there for a minute.
He turned on his PS5.
What?
Is there like a reason why?
Oh, I was just looking. You sound like you were going to say something. By the way, I didn't buy this. It's I'm bumming that off of Eric. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's signed into his profile on here because we play it sometimes when he's
talking about
over.
Borderlands 3, which
I'm sorry. I can't point and say this.
It's a good game, but for some reason, man, once you beat the game and you can start getting into mayhem levels, it just gets way too grindy for me. Yeah. It's too frustrating.
I don't think we'll get that far. We just wanted a break. We're playing God of War on God of War. Give me God of War. And
I need to do that.
We got really burnt out on it after a little bit.
I bet.
And so we were like, let's just play something, you know, co-op and kind of more casual, at least where we're at right now. But I know that when this was on sale, you went and bought it, and you were telling me I should go and buy it too. Yeah,
but it was $40 for the $100 version. Yeah. I was like, that is a steal.
Yeah, it was a deal.
That Borderlands 3, the whole version of it is a solid. If you're willing to put in the time, that's a solid 60 to 70 hours. Yeah. Without grinding. Mm-hmm. With grinding, that jaunt gets long.
You know, and I guess there's games like No Man's Sky that have the PS5 update, but it's more of like a next gen update, not PS5 exclusive.
That was kind of like a game that I feel like came out for PS4, and it should have just been a PS5.
That's right. It definitely should have.
It should have waited, and it would have sold a lot better.
It was a timed exclusive on the PlayStation for a while, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. But it definitely.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it definitely, I think it definitely should have waited. I was gonna say, how do we forget Astro's Playroom? We were talking about PS5
it's freaking phenomenal.
I know.
That's such a good game.
Yeah.
That's so ridiculous.
I just buy the PS5.
Eat your heart out, Mario.
Yeah.
Great game.
I just turned it on to look at the games I have on here to make sure I wasn't missing anything. They're all PS4 games except for Astro's Playroom, and Spider-Man. That's the only two. I just wanted to double check, but yeah. We kind of got sidetracked there when I turned this on. That's my fault.
Yeah,
but
it threw me off.
I know. I'm sorry. But anyway, I've got this article linked here, and it's talking about the 3 phases of buying a console. And there's the release window, where it says there's paper. It says the drawbacks. There's excitement because you buy it on day one, and you own the brand new thing, and you know you have the console before 99% of people have it, and which is what I did that for the Switch. I camped out at GameStop and got the Switch. Then I couldn't play it for like 2 weeks because I was still in college and working a part-time job and I hated my life. But I couldn't play it forever. But anyway, there's this, and it says even though you've got all that excitement, there's paper-thin library of titles, and it says for every Halo Combat Evolved Halo 1, there are 5 games of Killzone Shadowfall. And very true. Killzone Shadowfall sucks. Halo's good, but it's rare that you have those like smash hits that start the stuff.
And you're notably omitting the next game that they point out, Rise.
I don't even know what that is.
That was a cool freaking game.
Okay, well, see, I wasn't notably
Rise was I don't remember. I think it was a console.
Let me see.
Like launch title.
Rise
for Xbox One.
It was Son of Rome.
Yeah,
Rise, Son of Rome.
It was like this really cool third-person slasher Roman game.
Yeah,
and it had a really cool like style where like for certain killing animations, if you're about to kill somebody, it would like glow a certain button color, and if you hit all the right buttons, you got this freaking sick nasty like kill. It was dope. And it looked fantastic.
It looks good.
I'm looking at so
good.
It's
Crytek. Crytek makes such good looking games. Wow, Crytek made Hunt. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
It has very positive reviews on Steam. 21,000 very positive.
People really liked it, but
wonder why they said that in this article then, because I didn't know what it was.
I think because Metro, bunch of Brits, they're just pissy that they lost in World Cup. You know,
yeah.
England got beat out.
That's why they made this article.
Yeah, and people were making racist remarks about the players.
I did see that.
Yeah, fun stuff. Good job, England. Now you're freaking taking a piss on Rise. Shame on you. That's a good game. I never beat it though.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. So it says then you have your cross-gen games, which are barely distinguishable from previous generations like Breath of the Wild and Assassin's Creed 4, which I don't know if I agree with Breath of the Wild. I didn't play it on Wii U. I saw like Wii U emulators.
It looked like Wii U.
Yeah.
Like it didn't look next gen. But granted, Nintendo has never really looked next gen. They're different in that.
And I saw emulators where they're running like Wii U emulators, but they have PC specs and they could run it at like 8K.
Yeah.
That's the only way I saw it played on the Wii U. And I played Black Flag on PS4. That was like one of the first games that came out. But I didn't play it on PS3. I didn't think it was on PS3. I thought that's when they had Rogue instead.
No, so they did.
Or is that Unity?
Unity. It was
okay.
Rogue and Unity. I never fully understood the hype for Black Flag. Like it was fun.
That's my favorite Assassin's Creed.
That's what literally everybody says. Everybody just takes a fat dump on every other Assassin's Creed game, but they're like, Black Flag. Like, it's freaking nuts.
Yeah.
I never fully understood Black Flag.
I love it. It's my favorite one by far. Like, I enjoyed every moment of it.
I think I just got pissed that you got that stupid blowpipe that you had on your back the whole time. You look like a normal dude or whatever. And then you have this like tiki torch blowpipe, and you're like, "Can I take that off?"
I forgot about that.
I looked up so many glitches because in Assassin's Creed 3, total sidetrack, you get rid of the stupid bow. Because you can also look like a total colonial dude, and you have this freaking like homemade bow. I learned how to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And like you did all this bull crap, and then it was just floating midair. And they're like, if you do that, your save is screwed because you can never get it again.
Yeah.
I freaking loved it. But I couldn't get the stupid blowpipe off my back.
Yeah.
I hated it for that almost that exclusive reason.
Yeah, well, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
And then it says there's games that are truncated or rush development on a new engine. I don't know. It says FIFA. In this article, they quote FIFA having an issue about this. I don't play FIFA, so. And then there is the argument of, they say half-baked. I don't think it's half-baked. I just think it's, you get the first iPhone when it comes out. It had that floater, blue orb, and all the cameras. Yeah. When you get the very first wave of anything, you're kind of accepting that there might be something.
There's probably going to be some
work
technical.
Out. Yeah. You had the red ring of death, the yellow light on the PS3, I think, and then
I never heard of that. What was that? Was it just basically a red ring?
Yeah. Okay. It would overheat, and you could put just like red ring. You put towels on it and have heat absorbing and like all this dumb stuff. I had that was when I was in high school. Who knows how many hours I put in? I didn't have AC in my room, and it was probably like 1,000 degrees. I had one of those old plasma TVs that would just radiate. It was so hot. I'd be sweating playing Modern Warfare. But then failing Joy-Cons, and it says you're almost like a console beta tester. So there is the argument for that. Just like my PS5, the Wi-Fi used to drop.
That's true.
All the time. And it was an issue for a lot of people because like Reddit was full of complaints. That's the only way that I felt like I didn't need to return.
You were part of a group.
Yeah, I was going to return it, but it was such a big issue, and they said they could fix it with a software patch. It hasn't happened in a couple months, so I assume it upgraded overnight and all that. I don't have issues with it now because I downloaded Ratchet & Clank in like 2 hours, and usually it would fail 20 times in that 2 hours. I'd have to restart it. So there's that argument. And then they have, like I was saying, there's the mid-cycle price drop people, or the mid-cycle pro people that come in and get the older games that are now cheaper. Like if you bought whatever in mid-cycle, you're going to get God of War coming out. If you get PS5 Pro, God of War, Horizon, Ratchet & Clank, you're going to get those cheap, like $10, because God of War is like God of War, Horizon, The Last of Us, Ratchet & Clank. They're all $10 at Best Buy right now. So, or they have been. And then you can get the revisions. Like I said, you could get certain things with like the attachments. They were saying the Kinect sensor dropped its price by a ton.
Yeah.
So if you wanted it, you could get it for super cheap.
Yeah.
It wasn't $200.
Almost freaking ruined Microsoft's gaming whatever.
Yep. So, and that's when the big games come out. They're saying Super Mario World, 3D World for the Wii U came out halfway through. Little Big Planet 2 came out halfway through the PlayStation 3. GTA 3, PlayStation 2. I don't think that was an exclusive. Might have been.
I don't think it was.
And then they quote Sonic 06 for the 360. Why would they put that in there?
Yeah. All right. Let's freaking get it,
Talk
boys.
about value. Talk about great games.
In his world. That's a banger of a song. I think it was
Zebrahead.
Yeah, Zebrahead made the better version. Crush 40 had one, but it was not very good.
No, Zebrahead was
It was very really grungy and like slow, and then you had the Zebrahead. You're like, yeah! Like, I'm gonna run a loop.
They had some good music, but Sonic always has some good music.
Yeah. If only they had
good
a
games.
decent game since Adventure Battle 2, which
they did. They had Sonic Mania, but that wasn't for. I didn't grow up on the Genesis, so I like the 3D games better.
Yeah, I only ever played Adventure Battle 2, and so I was like, this is like the top of the top. I didn't even realize for the longest time that there was like, if you beat both the hero and dark side, that you can get that middle thing. I didn't realize, and when I realized it, I was like, there's more game, and I could not beat the freaking like the Shadow prototype or whatever. First of all, total side tangent. The thing where you had to go through like the gauntlet with like 5 lives. You had to beat like 8 levels, and you had 5 lives total.
Yeah.
Horrible anxiety attack the whole time. I was freaking out. And then you had, it was like the ultimate life form prototype or whatever. Yeah. You have the ultimate life form in Shadow. It's like a hedgehog. And you have the prototype, this massive gargantuan turtle lizard thing. And you're like,
Chaos, right?
What? No.
It wasn't Chaos?
No, that's the first game. That's Sonic Adventure.
Yeah.
This was just like a grotesque.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Freaking weird looking dinosaur. Like, I was like, how did you go from that? The big thing with the growths, and you have to hit the growths.
Where you're Super Shadow and Super Sonic.
Even before that, I couldn't beat it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I forgot that. Yeah.
Best game.
Yeah.
In the Sonic series. That and Shadow the Hedgehog.
Damn.
Damn, not like this. That was a freaking. Have I ever told you about when my cousin had the game for GameCube, and I had to cover my ears while they talked about why I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
And it was because he said, damn, all the time. And I remember my parents are like, you can play this game. You just have to turn your sound all the way down. So I would play with no sound. And then one morning, I got real rebellious. I turned it up, and I heard him say, damn. And I was like, is that really what they're upset about? And so I ran down to my parents' room. I was like, can I say the word damn? And they were like, I knew you were going to listen to it. And so it was, that was such a funny game. Like, looking back, so freaking weird. So good.
I can't believe it even existed.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Total tangent.
What a side tangent.
What a game.
But, then they have people that buy it at the end of the life cycle. I didn't know people did this, but I guess people do. Like, my brother bought a Xbox One just about a year ago to play Halo because they're dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to play Halo. And then they have dead console dealers, which I'm not going to go over. It looks like
just scumbags.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that it really just depends on what you're looking for. I think there's pros and cons to each. The PS4 was the first system I got close to release. I got it about a month or so later.
Mm-hmm.
But every other game I got halfway or more than halfway through.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This freaking ginger ale is making me. Bleh.
Why are you still drinking it?
It's not making me feel like I need to, desecrate your floor, but it's more just giving me lots of burps. So, yeah, I mean, like, it makes sense. I'm personally, like, if I can, I'm generally a release window buyer. I'm big into hype. You make a hype video, and I'm probably going to be, like, frothing at the mouth, even if I don't like the game.
Yeah.
There it is. So, excuse me. Like, I bought, well, granted, I didn't buy an Xbox One early. I got it in 2015. They came out in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a PS4 in 2014. So it's like I had it relatively early.
Yeah.
Got the PS5 like 2 months after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a Switch till when did Switch come out?
2016?
16 or 17?
16. I think it was.
I got mine the summer of 2018. It wouldn't surprise me if it was like Q3, end of Q3, beginning of Q4 2016. If it did come out in 2016.
No, it came out in March. I know that.
Really?
Yeah. I got mine March camping out, and I was freezing outside of GameStop. Let me see. DuckDuckGo does not give me the results I need. March 3rd, 2017.
Okay, so I got mine about a year-ish later. So I'm generally on the side of like, if you're gonna get it, you might as well get it when they're selling hot.
Yeah.
Like I think that there are obvious benefits towards waiting. I think specifically, and I didn't realize this about my Xbox One, was the Pro version of everything. I didn't realize how piss poor my Xbox ran until I started playing on my PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And I mean, the jump from PS4 Pro to PS5 is big. Like there's a noticeable difference.
Yeah.
But
from base.
Yeah, from going from base to next gen, it's like night and day.
Yeah. That's what I did.
I didn't realize. Like I didn't realize that my Xbox was falling as far as it was.
Yeah. But like you said, it's almost been 10 years.
Yeah.
A lot happens.
Yeah. So it's like I understand wanting to wait specifically for pro stuff. I think wanting to wait for new games, I'm kind of like, okay. Like if that's what you want to do, then wait.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are going to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And they really only cut, well, if you're Nintendo, you don't cut your Switch price at all. And it's 4 years into it. But a lot of them only cut the price by like $100 or so. And when you're thinking like $100 for like 2 years, really? You know, it's not that big of a deal. So
yeah. So I'm already nervous because PlayStation's been saying that they have a new they're making a new PS5, and I've heard that it's just like the plates are going to be different colors on the actual, like instead of the white, it's going to be like black or red or whatever bullcrap. If it's going to be like a Pro, that's going to be nuts. Yeah, it's going to be wild. And I think that's going to piss a lot of people off if they drop a Pro before they even fully release.
When did the PS4 Pro? When did that come out?
PS4 Pro came out like, I'm going to put my money on 2017, 2018. Probably 2018.
I can't find it. Oh, here we go. It came out
Come on, baby.
November 10th, 2016. 3 years
What?
later.
That's
3
really
years later.
surprising.
Yeah.
There were 5 years of PS4 Pro?
Yeah. I figured that was the case because there was a big technology jump in the middle of that generation, and Xbox and PlayStation both tried to keep up because when they made their consoles, we hadn't hit, we didn't have all these big processors and all this stuff that they threw into their Pro versions because that was, you didn't have Pro versions of other consoles. That was the first time we had Pro stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I guess it's true. They were definitely like different versions.
Yeah,
of,
but they were like, this is the cheaper version, or this is the even cheaper. They never really went higher. They took out some stuff. Like PS3, there was like 6 versions, and it was like Slim. It was the original big fat one.
Yeah.
The regular one that everybody has that I have, and then like the Slim and the Super Slim, the one that had the slide open top.
Yeah.
That you just put the disc in like a DVD player, like an old timey CD player.
Yeah. They had I know for Xbox, I got they had like a version of like the regular white Xbox.
Yeah, because I've got the Kinect version, so there was a different version. Yeah,
there was a white version that got the red ring, and then it had like a Jasmine series, and that was the first they got rid of the red ring.
Yeah,
and then they had like the built-in Wi-Fi whatever.
Right. Yeah,
because I had like a plug-in
card. That is crazy.
I had a plug-in.
Yeah.
That would go on the back of it and had a little antenna.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, this is the future.
Yeah. You know what's funny is you could play online on the PS2 with an Ethernet cable.
Yeah, I remember I had one guy one time back in like 2009. He was like, "Hey, you want?" I told him I was playing something. It was like some call. It was like old school Call of Duty. He was like, "You want to play online?" I was like, "What does that even mean?"
What is that?
That's
what is
you're
online?
An idiot.
Yeah,
like you're just absolutely stupid.
Yeah,
and then you think back, like, holy poop.
You could play Battlefront 2 online.
Yeah,
it's
weird. Yeah, we got a guy that played before he had a console. All he would play is Battlefront 2 on a PC.
Yeah,
like when it had like 8 servers, and he was like a part of all of it, and he was like super good. Like we watch him every now and then. It's stupid. He's so good at it. Yeah, it was fun. He was like way too good. Like dude, you need to like do some push-ups. Like, you should not be this good at this game. It's freaking
do
nuts.
Those side rolls. Actually, that might be Battlefront 1, but
he was doing like rocket jumps and all this crap, grenade jumps, which is cool and like not like a difficult concept to think of doing, but we just like watch him. Like, have you like done a sit-up before?
Have you seen the sun? You know what that is?
Kind of ironic.
But yeah, anyway, I don't even remember how we got where we are, but
I don't remember.
Yeah, there's
different versions of the consoles.
Different versions of the consoles. Just depends on. I try and be a release window buyer, but like I got my PS4, I broke my first one.
How did you break it?
I don't remember it. It started just dying on me, and then it may be because I modded the storage. But I did it on my second one.
You just dicked with it and it stopped working?
Well, I mean, it's like an official mod. It's you can use a 3.5 hard drive instead of the 2.5 or whatever Sony specific hard drives that were way more expensive. You could use a PC hard drive in it. That's what that thing is on top of it. But it's Nyko, and Nyko's typically pretty cheap. So I think it fried it, and it would randomly lose power. I'd be in the middle of something, just shut off.
That pissed me off.
So it eventually just stopped working. So that's my second one, but it's still a base model. So I don't know. Anyway,
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's about it with my rant on the PS5. If you have anything else, or we can move on.
I mean, I think like I don't know. I feel like more so than usual, people have been dookying on next gen consoles because they don't have a full library of games.
Yeah,
that are coming out, and I don't know if it's just I'm a relatively go with the flow type of guy, or if I'm just seeing this clearly and everyone else is an idiot. It's really a toss-up. The PS5 is a good console.
It is.
Just because it doesn't have, 8 version exclusives right at launch. It does not make it a bad console.
No, and it's kind of surprising that it had Sackboy was made for the PS5. It's on the PS4, but it's made for the PS5, so it had Sackboy, Spider-Man, Demon's Souls when you bought it. and Astro. That's
Yeah.
4, which was more than the PS4 had.
4 very quality games.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, freaking Astro's Playroom. The fact that that was just a demo showed, like, when I played that and I was like, wow, like, this is really fun.
Yeah.
That's when I was kind of like, all right, this is a good console.
Yeah.
Like, this proves that they're working on it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Everybody, get off your high horse. You freaking
That's right.
little plebeian. Go play Magic's Gathering, whatever, and hocus pocus yourself to hell if you don't want it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
If I could drop this mic without potentially breaking it, I absolutely would.
Without wasting all that money.
The money that we spent, yeah, and the fact that it's on a stand, and the stand is already starting to
Yeah.
bow a little bit.
Cheapo stand.
Yeah.
Cheapo table, though, too. That adds a lot to it. So, yeah, you want to talk about the Steam Deck?
Steam Deck. Yeah, so
Got
this was
released today, and I wanted to throw it in here.
Yeah, it's a freaking just out of nowhere curveball. Valve was like, "Hey, you guys still looking for Half-Blood 3? Is that Half-Line?
Half-Life.
Half-Life?
Yeah.
You guys still looking for Half-Life 3? Suck farts.
Hello,
It's my
Sarah.
dad. No, it's my dad
Oh.
talking to my wife.
Oh.
Valve was like, "Oh yeah, you want Half-Life 3? Suck my Gabe Newell nuts. I'm gonna make you a better Switch."
Yeah.
And so that, I mean, it looks. We were talking about this beforehand. It looks kind of lit, but it also looks kind of rhymes with lit, and is not the word lit.
Yes.
Like I was telling Mason beforehand, so it's called the Stream Deck. Basically, Steam Deck. It's basically think Switch, handheld Switch.
Yeah.
But made by a PC developer and not by somebody who's probably brain dead. And so you have a really dope looking console. I mean, granted, it looks cool in that it looks very futuristic.
Yeah.
It looks like Sin, and it's got everything, the whole of the console. So it looks like a Switch. It's got like the two hands you hold on the either end of it.
Yeah.
The buttons, the sticks, and the D-pad are all in the top third. All of it on either side.
Yep.
Right below it, you have two identically sized, like mirrored touchpads.
Yeah.
Like what are the thing? Wow, I don't know.
Trackpad?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough right there. You have two of those right below the sticks.
Yeah.
And then you have two other buttons, whatever. It just looks stupid. It looks really freaking stupid with the two things right there.
It's got whoa, I about knocked my whole mic off.
Your whole jank.
It's got two trigger buttons, L1, R1, L2, R2. And then it's got two paddle buttons for the ring finger and pinky on the back. And it's like, just, whoa, calm down. This is too much stuff.
It's got everything. So, I mean, like, the biggest thing for me personally is that it's got a dock. If it was just a handheld, I would not even consider buying this.
Yeah, but I agree, but it's extra.
Yes. So
and I can't find the price anywhere.
So the baseline for just the handheld device is $399.
Yeah.
There are two other versions. Mm-hmm. There's a $529 and a $649. So it gets expensive.
Yeah.
And that's not including any controller, any games, any dock, jack. That is just bare bones console. Mm-hmm. And to be charging almost $700
for strictly handheld.
For strictly handheld, this jaunt better be strong.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, like, I'm not a nerd, so I can't read when it's like it has 75 megabits of RAM poo. And I'm like, what did you just say to me? But we've read some reviews, and people that know what they're talking about say it's stronger than the Switch,
Yeah.
but it's not as strong as a PC. And there's just no way that it could be as strong as a PC.
Yeah. I don't even think it's up to par with the next gen consoles. I think it's like almost there.
Mhm.
It can output 8K in the dock, but so can the PS5. And so I think that probably visuals wise it's probably there, but I don't think like performance. I don't think the performance is
and
there.
I think that's the big thing. Like
Yeah.
the main reason that I would want to buy this is so I could play PC games.
Yeah.
And I want it to look like I'm not playing on a bootleg thing. That's why I haven't gotten a nice PC, is because if I'm gonna get a game or a PC to play Fart! If I'm gonna get a PC God, if I'm gonna get a computer to play computer games,
There we go.
it better be a good computer. I'm not gonna spend like $600. I want to put like $2,000 into some computer.
Yeah.
So if it's like, you think we were also talking about this off camera. You think like console rust, which has just gotten memed on incessantly because it looks like poo poo. If I can't get a moderate computer output for something like Rust, I don't think there's a point in buying this unless you are only looking to play. I mean, like the games that they have, like that they showcase, none of them are multiplayer. None of them are even PC exclusive. You have Control, Doom, Hades. There's another game, I can't really tell what it is on the side.
That is, I believe that is. I actually don't know what that is.
Is that Cyberpunk? No, it's not.
No.
Cyberpunk.
Oh, that's Wolfenstein. The new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like they're not even showcasing like PC games.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were showing like Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're not even seeing what this is gonna look like playing something like a Rust, a Dota, a League, something like World of Warcraft, crap like that, like stuff that like people want to get PCs for.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't see the point in it, at least for my own, what I would want to get out of it.
Yeah. I also think that when it comes to I've been a lot tonight. I don't know why. I realize. So
You got those dry gums. Gotta lubricate them bad boys up.
it's probably because I'm not drinking water. We just talked about that before we started recording. Almost did it again, but I just swallowed quietly. It's becoming a See, it's like I stopped clearing my throat. Now I've got a freaking smack. Anyway, in my opinion, if there is a game that is on PC, on console, that is not like 2011 Skyrim where you could get mods, where there's not an obvious advantage.
That might actually be a good reason just to get this. If you could get like actual modded Skyrim,
I think you can because
that'd be lit.
It's Linux.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that would be, for me personally, that's a big selling thing. If I could get games and then I could just remod them to like brand new experiences, that would be more of like, okay, that might be worth, to some extent, worth it. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's what I was going to say. But I was going to say that also that for games like Control, Doom, Hades, Wolfenstein, I almost feel like it's just going to be better to play the stable console version where it just runs smooth. You don't have any issues. Typically, there's more issues in PC games, unless you're Cyberpunk, and then it's reversed. But typically, there's more issues in PC in general because you got to download extra stuff. There's drivers on console. It's a plug and play. So, in my opinion, unless there's a big advantage like mods, it's always better to play cross-platform stuff on a console. But like you said, you got stuff like, except for Rust. Rust is another one. But you got stuff like Rust. You have like these indies. You have things like the Darwin Project.
That's on console.
Is it now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I had it on my Xbox. Never played it.
Okay.
It was free.
Yeah. See, I didn't know. I played it on PC, and you do get a lot of like early stuff.
Yeah.
On PC, I played Hunt like 3 years ago, and it just came out on console like last year. So
If I would trade in my console for like a top quality
Yeah.
PC
yeah,
and almost not even think twice.
Okay, yeah. I think if you are in a world where you don't have to worry about funds and you could just say top quality PC, $2,500, $3,000 versus a console, then yeah. But I think if you're doing budget PC, like mine was $1,500 and it's still not even. It's also because I bought my graphics card in the peak of cryptocurrency. I bought it for 3 times the price. But it was supposed to, I bought it for $300. There was the one just a month before, 3 tiers above that, 300, like 275. But I had to buy the one like way lower for 3 times the price. So, but I think if you're in my situation that I was in, it's better to stick with console. But you're right.
Yeah.
If in a perfect world, yeah, it's way better to do PC.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about before getting next gen if I was like, do I just want to put that into like a PC fund and just build a cracked out PC? And I still, oh man, I want that. I want that like bad, bro, man. Really bad. So I don't know. I'm personally, the jury's out for me right now.
Yeah.
If let's say the dock is,
It's minimum $100. Gotta be, because Nintendo's is.
Just the dock?
Yeah. What? It's like $80 to $100 to replace your dock.
So if it's $100, you're looking at $500 for a base
minimum. Yeah.
All that the what was it, the 529 and the 649 versions, all they include is more storage, more and higher speed storage. So you can store more and load times are going to be faster. I know that about storage. Huh?
A carrying case.
Dude, if you genuinely
you get a carrying case with the lowest one.
Okay. If you need if like a carrying case were to swing your purchase, you need to do push-ups. Like let's just be real.
$120 more for a carrying case? Yes.
Oh my gosh. So it's like, if man, I just don't know. $500 for something that, like, let's just say it's not going to be able to run something like Rust very well, something like WoW.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be for like modding games. Like if it can do that, I don't think that I would buy it new.
Yeah. No.
If it was like, if we saw them play real games, not a Stardew Valley, which you can play on your shoe for all I care.
Yeah.
Like if you could play actual games, I'd look at it. But after seeing, after seeing potentially what it could do, I'm personally like out. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think that this MSN article makes a good point. Steam and Valve typically don't have a good history with hardware. Like their controller bombed, Steam Link bombed. They're a software company.
Yeah.
They don't have a good history with hardware. So it says in 2012 or 2014, Valve got into the hardware business with Steam machines. Mm-hmm. And then it came with Steam OS, not Windows. And it says making the devices unable to play even the newest games because they weren't compatible with the operating system. Mm. And that's all. This comes with Steam OS, but you can sideload Windows. But then you got to buy a Windows license. That's another $200 on top of your $500. Mm-hmm. So it stacks on. It stacks up. Yeah. Then it says Steam machine came with a Steam controller. That was in 2014, and then in 2019, the Steam controller was selling for just $5 because it didn't go anywhere, and it had the little touchpads. I was telling you about that before we started. Then
it didn't have like the sticks.
Yeah. So then it says there was a Steam Link, which PlayStation has a thing like Steam Link. It's called like PlayStation TV or something. It's just a little box, and you can play your PlayStation anywhere. Yeah. Steam Link is now an app, I believe. So it was a little box. And it says you could stream computer games from your PC to your TV. You have to have really good Wi-Fi for that to work. It mostly has to be wired. But then it says there was an issue with input lag, and then it says it replaced the hardware with the Steam Link app. But then I was looking last year, the Steam Link was selling for $10
Wow.
because they were liquidating because they just had an app, and they should have just made an app in the first place and put it on like Roku or put it on these, Chromecast, whatever. That's what. Not that it's a good example to follow, but that's what Google's, what's it called, Stadia. That's what Stadia did.
Yeah.
But they're not a great hardware company. They're a software company, and so it'll be interesting to see where this goes.
They didn't outsource this? Like this was an internal build,
As far
right?
as I can tell, it doesn't say anything about outsourcing.
Yeah.
It says Valve, so they did it. Like I'm sure they're outsourced as in like Nintendo gets the NVIDIA chips.
Yeah.
But that's probably it.
The rest of it was probably built.
Yeah, it's not like
in-house.
they sent it to Alienware or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's them.
Which, like I said before this, also I can't give you a reason as to why I don't trust Alienware.
That's so weird because Alienware is like the luxury brand.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you don't
trust
like
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
think
too expensive to be trusted.
that might be the case.
Yeah.
I also think the logo looks dumb. I think that they could have had a really cool logo, and it's just a freaking stoned out looking
alien boy.
alien.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got. I'm not confident in the Steam Deck, but I'm pretty confident in the PS5. I don't know if you have anything else, Mason.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just wanted to throw the Steam Deck in there because it got released like 3 hours before we met, and so I was like, this is cool. I want to talk about this. It was originally just supposed to be a PS5 episode, but I agree. I mean, I love my PS5. I'm glad I bought it, but I sometimes come up here and I sit in my game room and I look at it and I'm like, I could just be using my PS4 right now for everything that you do. I get a nice UI.
Yeah.
It has a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi card, so whatever. But, I like the controller better. I like the hardware better, and I think that it'll grow into being a really good console, so
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. It's been on my mind a lot as I play my N64 in the corner and I look at my $700 paperweight.
Yeah, I'm counting down the days because PS4 made a control, or somebody made a controller for PS4 that was in the shape of an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
And I'm counting down the days because
Yeah.
that Xbox controller is literally the perfect style for a controller.
Well, they haven't changed it since the 360. Pretty
And
much. Like, very small.
Yeah, absolutely. They should not.
Yeah.
The even though, I mean, like, PlayStation's controller hasn't super changed. It's changed enough to where, like, man, PS3 controllers were so tiny.
Yeah.
Everybody hand cramps.
The only thing that's not changed is, like, the, I don't know what you call it, but the sticks both being at the bottom instead of being offset.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, especially the DualShock 5. Well, DualShock 1, 2, and 3, or I guess the original was not called DualShock. It was called something else. But
It's called controller.
Controller.
Yeah.
Anyway, PlayStation 1, and then the DualShock 1, DualShock 2, DualShock 3, they were all the same. DualShock 3 was a DualShock 2 with no cord. Like, exactly the same. Then the DualShock 4, a little bit different. The sticks were different.
A chunk of the
Yeah.
problems.
I think the DualShock 5 is the best controller so far.
Yeah,
of
it's definitely the best
PlayStations.
PlayStation
Yeah.
controller. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I agree. I prefer
Xbox
I think
controllers.
the Nintendo Switch Pro controller is a really good controller. But
I think
it's
it's
a lot like
it
Xbox.
feels cheap.
Yeah.
It feels cheap.
Yeah, for
Xbox,
$80. Yeah.
Xbox controllers feel
The favorite controller
intense.
I ever had is I can't see it right here, but I've got a whatever the silver like Halo edition Xbox controller where you could turn the D-pad and turn it into like a
wow.
I don't know, you could turn it and it would pop the rest of it up underneath it and it would be more of like another stick, and or you could turn it back into a D-pad. But the controller layout, that was my favorite one. I haven't used a Xbox One or because I think the Series X is the exact same as the Xbox One controller, right?
It's got
pretty much.
like a pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much exactly the same. So it's
It has
like,
better tech in it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm counting on the days till somebody makes that for PlayStation 5 because that's like a day one.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure that they will.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that's all I got.
All I got.
Lit. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. A little bit shorter than last week's.
15 minutes shorter, not much.
Hey, that 15 minutes, you know what you can do in 15 minutes? Hopefully run a mile in 15 minutes.
Hopefully.
If you can't run a mile in 15 minutes, just keep trying, bucko. That's all we got. Like I said, hope you guys enjoy. If you think that we said something wrong, if you're like, dude, PS5 sucks, or you're like, dude, Steam Deck is lit, or dude, your freaking French sucked, then my girl over at Google Translate has got something to say to y'all.
What?
I'm gonna play that again because I yeah, you want to know what that means?
Yeah,
let me tell you what that means.
Suck my balls.
Yeah, that's what you get. Yeah, so if you didn't like French, you can "suce me couille." But you can text us all of that. You can DM all of that at our socials.
Yeah.
If you're on Twitter, it's at DigiWaypoint. That's it, at DigiWaypoint.
Yeah,
if you're on
DigiWaypoint.
Instagram, it's at Digital Waypoint. Hit us up. Let us know that my French sucks, and I'll tell you to "suce me couille." If you are needing some visual stimulation, you listened to last week's and you're like, dang, this is an hour, 30 minutes. I need something to entertain my eyes. Well, then hit us up at our YouTube and watch a JPEG and listen to us talk. And that'd be lit. If whatever you're listening to, all we ask is that whatever you're listening to us on, you just like us if you can. Spotify is still in the Stone Age. You can't like things. But
You can follow. That's about it.
you can follow. So follow us. Give us a follow. Throw us a follow. And we'll put you on our Patreon that we're going to make, right?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll make a Patreon.
Okay.
We'll make a Patreon. See if anybody buys into that. But yeah, hit us up. Like us if you can. Rate us. And we're really excited that you guys listen to us talk about a good console and a potentially absolute dog crap console.
We'll see.
We'll see. Who knows?
Q1 2022. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said last week, it had been a while. So, maybe last week you're a little bit out of the loop. It's like, whatever, fine. Okay, all right, whatever. But now, like, we had a week and you've had practice. So I would imagine that you would remember what time it is. Because, of course, it is time for the Action Miss Baby